everyone, welcome to this special episode of the channel. Today I'm joined by some amazing trainee friends here at the EUIPO, the European Union Intellectual Properties Office. We've been on this traineeship journey together for almost a year, and it has influenced us in so many ways, personally and professionally. That's why we thought it would be fun to sit down together, reflect, and share with you the experience. So, if you're curious about how this traineeship in Spain has added value to our personal leadership development, stick with us until the end. So, without further ado, let's get started. But before we dive in, let's have a quick introduction so the audience know who we are. Who wants to start first?
Hello, I'm Tom. I'm from Luxembourg and I also studied at the University of Luxembourg. I have a background a bit in teaching, in translation, and copywriting. And yes, here at the EUIPO, I work in the academy department, more specifically in the academic initiatives team, which now is called IP Events and PES Young Professional Program. So if you're a future PES or young professional, that's the team that you will deal with a lot.
Hello, my name is Joanna. I'm from Greece, but I represent Cyprus in the PES program here in EUIPO. This is because I studied in the University of Cyprus. I did 2 bachelor degrees, one in French language and literature and one in European studies and modern languages. So here in EUIPO, I work for the academy department with Tom, and also I work for the knowledge management team.
My name is Max. I'm from Czechia. I studied at Maastricht University. Right now, I'm a lawyer who works in the digital workplace team in the digital innovation department. And currently, I'm working mostly on cybersecurity and ITSM management.
My name is Nazerke, or just Naz. I studied in Romania, so my background is business administration and management. Now I'm working in BDD with Jane in the same department, and I'm excited to be here and looking forward to share our experience.
My name is Chin. I'm the host of this podcast channel. So originally I'm from Vietnam, and right now I'm working in the business development department with NAS, but we are in a different team. So I'm in the social media and communication team. So technically, I write content, and occasionally I just get people together and we discuss things, life in general. When you first arrived in the office at the EUIPO, what was your first impressions?
I was really impressed. I really liked the buildings, the infrastructure, everything looked very new, still looks. So I really liked. I was like, wow, I'm gonna work here, and it was a view to the sea, amazing. I'm gonna really miss
The
it.
first time you came up here with the bus, the first day when you got your
Exactly.
badge, and then you take the bus and you just see everyone, literally everyone, took out their phone because on the way here you see the sea on the left, on the left hand side. So
Yeah.
everyone
Exactly.
phone out,
Yeah.
picture of the sea. And I think at that moment, at least most people were sure, okay, even if the job is not good, at least the view
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's all worth
Some-
it, no?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
some people get offices by the seaside. I don't know any of
Yeah.
you. We don't
Well, we
because we're
don't.
in this building. This building doesn't have seaside view.
Ah.
But
We had last year, but then after like New Year we changed the floors.
Yeah.
Now we don't. But
Ah.
yeah, we had.
at
both.
least you had 3 months of seaside view then.
Yeah.
For me,
Kinda.
I'm the opposite because like I think in the
Yeah,
first
you were
few
the
months I
second.
was I was sitting with the linguistic team, and then they shuffle
Yeah.
the 2 floors, and then I moved in with my team, and then within that team I have the sea view.
Lucky.
Nice.
Lucky.
Well, not really the sea view. It's next to the sea view, but I have.
But
Can
so
you
you
see
can
the
see the
sea?
Yes.
Ah,
There's a sea view.
What does a typical day look like for you as a trainee? The moment, like,
The moment of silence.
the moment.
I can
I
start.
would like to start with Iona. So
Okay.
please.
As trainee, I ran a lot to catch the EUIPO bus. I have to say that. So I start my day by running to catch up the bus. I go to the office. I take a quick coffee with my colleagues or my team or my co-trainees. Then I go straight at the office. I see my co-trainees. I say hello, of course. And we start the day by taking our tasks, setting our priorities, and complete that what needs to be completed inside the day. We have some deadlines, some very strict ones or some very flexible ones. It depends from the task. Then around 1 o'clock, I go for lunch with my friends or my colleagues. And then, of course, because I'm quick and I am in Spain, a very quick coffee again, second coffee for the day. Then again, back to work. And sometimes around 4:30, I finish everything. I go to the gym or I go back home. It depends. And for a very limited amount of time, when I had exams, I would go back home, study. Unfortunately, this had to take place as well. And then I would go out with friends for Tito de Verano or something like that.
You are in DID, right? What is DID in the first place? Can you please tell the audience
Yeah, of
the full name? Because I hear in the office we have all the abbreviation, and to be honest, at the end of the traineeship, I still don't remember all. So,
Yeah,
what does DID stand for?
DNE means Digital Innovation Department. Basically, we have different teams, different services that take care of specific aspect of technology and how we implement it in the UIPO. So, for example, my team, Digital Workplace, we are taking care of IT service management. So, when you need Wi-Fi, or when you're requesting visitors,
So that's
it's
you.
well, that's not me personally, but we manage the system which all these requests come through. So if there's a
Okay.
problem, I can look into the system and try to help you with the problem. Since I'm trainee, I wasn't a specialist that like in major way would handle all the tasks, all the requests. But I was assisting. For example, we were reminding users which didn't respond to our messages. Come on, you should respond. But that's just my team. I also work a lot with cybersecurity teams. So
Okay.
I help with preparation with video. All of you have mandatory trainings. I hope you all see my video I created for you.
Can you tell us about your typical day at work? What did you do?
Yeah, actually, my answer for this question is there is no typical day. I don't feel like, I mean, of course, you every day came into the office, a lot of people go for the courtesy fruit, and you end the day and you, of course, lunch and all these typical things. But professionally, I don't feel that I would have, for example, a task that would repeat so much that would make it a day, or that I would work every day in the same style, because I participated in many different projects. Some were more creative, some were less, some were with different teams, so the workflow also looked a bit different. What some days were most about meetings, some days I just was the whole day alone working on the content I was creating or any other things. So for me, I couldn't pick a day that would be like typical day.
So basically, what you're saying, every day is a bit different for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's exciting, no? So you don't get bored.
No, you don't get it.
It hasn't always been easy. Even from the beginning to the end, there's always some hiccups, some challenges, right? So if you could pick one, what is the most challenging experience that you faced during this traineeship, and how did you overcome it?
I guess it's the beginning. Pick your stuff and come here. I think that was the biggest challenge and difficulty, because you have to face unknown. You have to realize that you're gonna probably be alone, because you don't know anyone here, and you'll be on your own with. I mean, professionally, because you don't know your team yet. And even though that you came here and realized everything is fine, the place is amazing, and people are even more amazing, you have to still do the step. And I would say that was the biggest, because then you are here and everyone helps you. You join the community of trainees and staff members, and you have amazing adventures, and it's really worth it. So do the step.
Okay, do the step.
In my case, it's totally opposite. So in my case, it's the end of this experience. A few months ago, I was of course applying, as all of us, to the jobs. It was stressful to find a job, but when I get something now, I do realize that again everything starts again. I need to go to a new place to find an apartment, to meet new people, meet new team, new place, a new country. So it's very stressful for me now to say bye. If I had the chance, I would love to stay, to be honest, because I really want the stability in my life. Every year, almost every year, I move, and now I really want to stay. So yeah, I think I would say the end is more hard for me.
Or is the end new beginning?
Exactly. I know, but it can be like a loop, you know.
Yeah,
I
it's
cannot
quite
be
emotional,
always
no?
like
Like,
this.
when you get to know people, when you form a bond, and then
Exactly.
you know,
And you
like
have to leave.
Yeah,
and then you have to detach.
exactly.
So,
Like only last few months, I really started to really talking to my team, and like knowing people more closer rather than just people I work with. Like we joke, like, and we have some local jokes, etc. So I feel.
what is the local joke?
Yeah.
I'm
With
curious.
no, just some about websites.
About websiting. Okay.
So yeah, it's more about feelings. Maybe I feel very comfortable here, but also it's a sign to go because it's better to change the environment and go out from your comfort zone. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Are you ready to share with us
Uh,
now? Don't cry.
Well, no, actually, this will be my challenge to speak multiple languages inside the day. A part of my tasks that made me a little bit stressed, and I managed to cope with it. It was when I was studying for my Chinese exam, and I used to have actually early classes, like very early, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. I would wake up around 4 o'clock, 4:30, and of course, when you work all these hours and then you go back home and then you have to study, it's exhausting. So,
Can you tell us something in
Uh,
Chinese, please?
okay,
Give us one sentence.
okay. So I can say 我的实习经历特别非常特别, which means my traineeship experience is like very good. I really enjoyed it, something like that. 我觉得我认识了很多有趣的人. I met very interesting and good people. 我学到了很多，谢谢 EUIPO. The fact that I have to speak in multiple languages after my Chinese, because I also speak French and Greek as well, because I'm a Greek speaker.
Well, look at her. She's super talented.
Yeah, and I would have to switch, and the fact that I'm learning Spanish gave me a hard time, because I would mix French and Spanish, and I would create something of my own. And I would speak to my colleagues who are half of them French and half of them Spanish, like in my own language that doesn't exist nowhere. But they would just, be patient with me, and they would just teach me words, and I really thank them so much. So sometimes I would go to the office. I don't know if my co-trainer here, Tom, can verify for me, but I would feel like a zombie.
I'm not gonna say yes because I'm getting trouble if I say that. But
and really,
you look great in the morning for sure.
Thank you.
We have covered our present experience. Let's rewind a little bit. How did we get here and why? For now, I think I'm gonna start with Tom.
Okay.
Why did you apply for this traineeship in the first place?
Okay, I'm gonna try to do the short version, which is I was also very used to moving around a lot, and at that time, kind of a half a year before, or a few months before I applied for the traineeship, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend at that time, who is Singaporean. So for me, the goal was actually, instead of coming here, was to move to Singapore for 1 year and work there. So I already had apartments lined up. I was already looking for work. I was finding some interesting stuff. And then we broke up. Actually, it was during the time of my Erasmus, so I had 60 things at once. So when I came back home, I said, okay, I'm going to give myself a bit of time. I'm going to say I'm going to moving for 1 year, and I'm going to decide afterwards what I want to do. And exactly at that moment, I opened my university browser, and I found a traineeship. And so for me, it was kind of a sign to see, okay, this is something I've been looking for. I've been aching to now find something new, to really find myself and to see what do I want to do. And I found that email. I applied, not even knowing what the EUIPO was, because I never heard of it before. I'm not a lawyer. I have nothing to do with IP. Like I said, I did European culture and translation languages. And so for me, it was a long shot. So I also applied to other degrees, other opportunities. But then I got the job, and I had 2 interviews. I for different teams, and I decided, okay, if I get the position for one of the teams, which is exactly the one I'm in now, I'm gonna accept. and I'm gonna move to Spain for my new chapter. I've never even had Spain on the map for even moving here.
Okay.
And then, like a miracle, I actually did get accepted, and yeah,
Well,
now I'm
you're
here, and I've never been more glad to have accepted any position than this one. So
Nice,
it all
nice.
worked out in the end.
Nice, nice.
Well, I heard about this traineeship and faculty during the IPE courses. So the last 2 or 3 years before I finished my studies, I was preparing myself to be eligible for this position, and I tried too hard. I took all the IP courses and focused really on this because I wanted. I would say I was used to Czech idiom that the Czech little pond was not big enough for me. I always wanted to go abroad and spend some time there. I preferred also LA. But COVID kind of messed it up. I didn't end up using the opportunity to go to Erasmus. So this was a good option. So trying hard to be as best candidate as possible. And then in July, I got the email from EUIPO saying you're not selected. So I moved on. I started to work in law firm, and then in September, come an email. Can you come? And here I am.
Oh wow, UK is very special.
Yeah.
So they rejected you and then they want you.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting part. So keep checking your emails, your inbox. Keep checking your inbox. Don't give up just yet. You never know what's gonna arrive in your inbox the next day. After what? 2 months? No?
Mm-hmm.
2 months. Nice. For me, it was quite intentional. I was in the UK, and I think like for at the very first day, like the what do they call it? The induction day of my MBA, and I still remember my the dean of my university. He said that the consider the MBA is like a project, and you have to think of the aftermath right now. So don't wait until 1 year or 6 months or 3 months. Think about it right now, and of course along the way, then like why you exploring the courses, the country, and then you start forming what you want to do next. So if you can pose the question right now, what's next? Then you will find the answers. I always ask myself, okay, after 1 year in the UK, what do I want to do? So at that time, I was like, okay, maybe I can just stay in the UK, find a job, and whatever. But then after a few months, it was so cold. It was freezing. And long story short, my reason are I wanted to escape the cold in the UK, and I was like, I miss speaking in Spanish, because like back in Vietnam, I lived within the Spanish community, so I had the opportunity to practice a bit, but in the UK there was none. And even like occasionally I met some Spanish speakers. They refuse to speak Spanish to me because like we in England, and like people just speak English. So like okay, so I was like, what if? What if I have the opportunity to move to Spain so I can continue? And at that time, I was like, I realized the job market in the UK was very competitive. It's still very competitive, and doesn't matter how much experience you have back home, they don't care. So you have to start from zero, like from ground up again. So I wanted to find an environment where I can be in an international environment, gain experience and everything. So when this program, the information lands in my inbox, like, oh, you got paid to study, and you got paid to work and to learn. So okay, why not? But the thing is, I am in the like Nas and I, we are the non-EU citizens, and we only have a 10% margin, like competes with other people, like 10%. Okay, I need to be the best candidate of the 10%. But okay, and then we got in. So here we are.
Wow.
So it was a lot of commitments and a lot of intention.
Mm.
I think all of us, after a while, or maybe at the beginning, we all have this kind of feeling of moments of doubt. I think like Tom said it earlier, like initially there was moment you said like, do I belong here?
Yes.
What am I
exactly.
doing here? So can you share with us a little bit of your moment of doubt?
I had only one moment in the beginning, like first 2 months, I think. when I didn't have anything to do as a task. And I was like, what I'm doing here, because I was always asking for task, and it was just one task for 1 week, and it was so easy to, finish in kind of 50 minutes. So it was not really a big deal. So yeah, I didn't understand if it will be the same the whole year. If yes, then like what I'm doing here, what I'm gonna add in my CV. I needed really something to add, and I didn't know. So yeah, but later, of course, everything improved, and now I have a lot of work.
Yeah, and now she cannot stop working. So
Be careful what you
be
wish
careful.
for.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Max, would you like to share with us some your self-doubt moment?
In the previous work, I was not that confident, I would say. When I think of something, when I have a question or ideas, I rather, safer not to share and just go with the flow. And then I come here, and coming here meant a sacrifice. I had to leave the job, and I had to decide that I'm gonna spend 1 year somewhere else, but I have no background, and I'm gonna learn things I might not maybe even use in the future profession, because that's, I would say, maybe specialty of law that. And I'm now here in the digital innovation department, so I'm not doing really legal tasks. So maybe that was some form of doubt, but I would say the fact that I was accepted here and then the 3 years of preparation finally gave the result of me actually arriving here and see the sea. I felt that
Can you repeat that one more time? How many years? Listen, how many years? How many years did you have to prepare for this traineeship position?
Yeah, I mean 2 or 3. I mean that's the time when I heard about possibility of doing traineeship here, and then you have opportunities to make the choices. When you register for the courses, am I registering the IP courses? Is there some extra IP course I could take? Or I was discussing with one of the professors at the university and asked him what I should do, or what I should have in CV to be attractive for the traineeship. And asking learn languages, have some international Erasmus preferably, but at least I was on summer school, so at least I tried to find something like this. So yeah, for the 2.5 years at least before I ended my studies, I was making the choices to hire my chance to get here. And when I finally got here, I lost, I would say, the bit of the self doubt. I saw that it bring the result I wanted, and it raised my confidence.
Nice, nice. The lesson that we all could learn from Max here: never give up, right? And like to build the resilience. So basically, when you meet certain criteria that you don't have just yet, don't give up. I think like a lot of people, when they, let's say, when they want to do something, when they want to achieve some kind of goal, and all they see is the obstacle, so they already like, okay, maybe I don't have enough qualification for the job or for any traineeship. Then they just like move past it and they find something else to do. But the lesson here we all can learn: you need to build yourself up, because if this is what they want, then you raise your bar and you try to meet the standard, and then that's it. You keep trying until you get in.
Before coming here, I had two very excellent opportunities that were offered to me. So I chose EUIPO instead of going to China to study or to work as an EU project officer. So I had my doubt if I took the correct decision coming here, doing a traineeship, although I have working experience. And I was working in a multicultural environment before coming here. So for me, it was the same when we are referring to this situation. But I realized that I took the right decision because this was an amazing year for me. I got to meet amazing people that were next to me and they helped me no matter what. They didn't know me. They didn't have to actually be that kind to me. For me, it was something so overwhelming. Yes, and also I understood. I actually validated what I want to do professionally.
Nice.
So I have so many positive feelings, and I only have gratitude left for this office, and I would really want to come back here one day. This is for sure.
And if I may add something, even like the most important thing is to pick the goal, what you want to achieve, then exactly what you said. But even if it doesn't work because maybe you're just unlucky, it still brings some positive things. It still brings some results, because even if I didn't get the second email and I wouldn't be selected, thanks to all the preparation I did, which improved me in some matters, I got very good job Czechia, and if I stay there, I would be very happy. And that was big sacrifice for me. For example, leave this job and decide to go for this traineeship. And I would even say that my original goal here was to do the IP law, which didn't. It's not true. I mean, I was doing IT, but I would still choose again to go here because what I'm learning here is very interesting. I'm really glad that I have the opportunity. So I think even if the goal you select on the very beginning will not come 100% true, it's you still benefiting from that.
Okay, that's a good lesson there. Take it in now, guys. Take it all in. What's been the most rewarding part of your experience?
So this year, I would say like I learned, of course, a lot from my department and people I worked with. Mainly, I feel I became more open as a person. So like now for me, it's more easy to ask questions and not feel stupid because I'm asking questions. But if I have a question, I ask, and I know that people would help me, you know. Or for instance, I can easily start communication even if it sounds like as a usual thing. For me in the past it would be a bit harder. Now I feel more open to the world, let's say, and people around. So yeah, I think I feel it's as an like achievement for me.
Nice one. Thank you for sharing. Well, Tom, would you like to add something?
Of
into
course.
this? Of course.
if you ask.
No, I think in general you actually put a very important point, which is that the asking aspect, because I worked mostly as freelance before, and there it's a bit different because you don't have a person that you can directly talk to. So it's most, or you can, but it's always a process. But here you really, I felt at the beginning, I felt very bad of asking 100 questions, especially in the first month, because you feel a bit of this imposter syndrome where you think, well, do I even belong here? Should I even be here? And then you think to yourself, well, these questions are completely idiotic to ask. But obviously, even now, because in my team we have a lot of different nationalities, a lot of different people, a lot of different mindsets. So I think I really I resonate with this, the fact that you should always ask and you shouldn't be afraid to ask, and you should be okay with the fact that people are not going to like what you do, but accept that it's part of the process. And like that fact for sure is something I agree with 100%. It's a very important learning process, but
nice. Wow,
yeah.
it's very interesting to hear this perspective, because on my side, I always ask questions. I think like I just have the.
I remember the first day she came with a notepad. I was the pen. She was the only one who took the like notes, and they were asking like a lot of questions. Even if I had questions, I didn't ask anything. I was waiting because I knew that she will ask.
For me, that's the thing. I think I just have a natural curiosity of everything, and I'm not afraid of asking questions. And I think this is maybe from my childhood. In my family, like, well, if you don't know anything, either you figure it out yourself first, and if you still don't know, then just ask. It's very simple, right? So it just ask. So on this note, for me, the most rewarding experience for this traineeship, I have to say, I just complete my C1-2 Spanish, and I got the certificate. So for me, that's my biggest achievement. I mean, beside a lot of other things, but I think my Spanish has improved a lot.
Can you also now say something in Spanish, or she has to say something in Chinese? I feel like that's fair, no?
Yeah.
You can look at the
okay.
camera,
So
you can say
I
something
think,
as well.
okay, I can say one of my, well, I have a lot of favorites expression in Spanish now, but like a few expressions that I really love. Sin prisa, pero sin pausa. So no rushing, but without pausing. Paso a paso, or like the Spanish people, they say like poco a poco, poco a poco. So poco a poco is little by little, paso a paso, step by step. So let's move on to the next question. As we all reaching the end of our traineeship, Can you please share with us how has this experience changed you both as a professional or as a person?
I think like both of them go kind of hand in hand because like I said, I did mostly I worked as a teacher, but that was a bit more of a comfortable role. I then moved on to freelance, so I was a lot working by myself. But I always try to, like you said before, try to heighten my own bar of like qualification. So I learned more languages, I learned more skills, I took courses and whatnot. But it was always a bit difficult for me to exactly pinpoint what I wanted. And when I came here, I was immediately confronted by the thing I want, but that I thought I wasn't qualified enough for, which is public speaking. For me, one of my end goals, one of my most, where I think I excel at most, is public speaking, especially in big events. It's something I really want to achieve. And when I came here first, I think I was still, again, with the self doubt. I was thinking I wouldn't be good enough, but then I had the advantage of having my team who constantly asked me what I wanted to do, how I want to achieve this. And so they really gave me the opportunity to help in events, help event management, event planning, but at the same time also help me achieve that goal of getting more confidence in my speaking. So then, I don't know, maybe some people that listen know the IP intensive program. That was let's
Intensive
say an
program.
intensive program, who would have guessed, about the world of IP. So there it was the first time they gave me the opportunity to moderate. And then afterwards, doing other events, the NIPA annual meeting, which is where all our academic stakeholders, our talent bank members, where they all meet, and there got the opportunity to help out again. Then the career event. Then I managed to help the peer-to-peer event at the office to organize and to talk more and more and more. So now we are having the induction and the welcome ceremony where I can again show or try to train my public speaking. I think that is something that really taught me to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, to be
Nice.
constantly to be okay with the fact that I'm constantly anxious and that it's okay to feel that way and to always go for the stuff that even if I feel I wouldn't be comfortable in doing it, I still always see the merit like the result of it. I think there was this one thing where there's a person that once told me that humans are like crabs. So we feel very comfortable in our own zone because we have the hard shell around us. So, but to grow up, you need to go out of your shell, you need to mold. And the first few weeks, first few months are going to be very uncomfortable. They're going to be very anxiety inducing. But once you build this new shell, you're going to figure out that, hey, I'm better than I was before. But that gives you the problem that you see, okay, so if I want to get to the next step, once again, I have to mold, and once again, I have to step out of that comfort zone that I've created for myself. So I think for me, to answer the question, professional development in that sense, I think I've been growing quite a bit in that last year, especially in that aspect. And I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to do this and to have an amazing team who gave me the opportunity to grow in that sense.
Nice, nice. So glad to hear. I mean, because I think I also share the same mentality when, you know, like even here I have on my arm this quote: die to your fears if you want to truly live. Because I believe fear is it's just there, and if we don't do anything about it, it's not gonna go away, right? So for me, like whenever I have any problem, I have any fear, I just run at it. Like I confront it straight away. The sooner you face it, the sooner you solve it. So thank you for sharing. Coming from Vietnam, I have a very different background. I worked in a private sector before. I even have like my own business. So for me, coming here, everything is so slow. So like compared to the pace, like back home, everything is just like super fast. So like coming to the UK, everything was a bit slower for me already. But like at the end of the day, I come to appreciate it because we are the EU agency. So every single decision has its own consequences. And that's why here people really take time to measure out, to really think through all of the potential consequences. So I learned to appreciate the fact that we cross-check information, because whatever we put out, it has to be correct. So in this case, it's like growing professionally. I come to understand more of the European politics. I find it, which is like very, very interesting. And I also understand the complexity of, like, like the whole EU. Now I understand why things takes time. It's there for a reason. So, and this is something that I also learned is about being patient. Again, sometimes you want to move forward, you want to get things done, but like, no, you have to wait for approval. But at the end of the day, everything works out. And while waiting, you just find something else to do. And that's it. Patient is the key. Now, after almost a year here, what skills, habits, or mindset that you want to carry forward into your next chapter? Iona?
Okay. Well, first of all is the linguistic skills. Of course, I enjoy, and what I love the most is to work with variety of people coming from different backgrounds and countries. I enjoy using all the languages I know to work, and for me, it's such a unique experience because, of course, in every language you use something different that doesn't exist linguistically speaking in other languages. So you have this uniqueness that each languages offer during your professional career, your tasks, everything. The mindset now is okay, be patient. That patience is a key. That if we want to get the message across, we have always to readapt the text based on the audience actually. And that uniqueness is what brings us together.
I'm gonna start maybe with a habit. Probably tortilla patata at least once per month.
Tortilla, patata.
Yeah. Of course, the language skill is something I will definitely carry on. I want to continue learning in Czech as well. And most, of course, to find a purpose, how to use it
Nice.
in career or personal professional life. The mindset, I would say,
Sorry, how many languages do you speak and which ones?
Czech, of course, English, now Spanish a bit, and Japanese. I also also for
Japanese! Wow!
Yeah, but very low level, A2 basically.
Show us, show us.
It's fine.
Demonstrate something.
Yeah. まだまだ勉強します。
ありがとうございます。
こんにちは。
いいですよ。
Nice, nice.
Mindset, I would say that before in the law firm, I felt the stress that you deal with real cases, that behind the email researcher's question, some person actually having the problem, like the person needs to pay a lot of money, or it's in very stress, it can be even like important life situation. And I felt there's like pressure and wanted to be responsible, and I think it was a break as well, that I was okay, I would just do what the advocate told me to do and do it like properly, but don't be like creative, like don't try to think of something, don't make it more complicated. And so I think this approach has its benefits. But when I come here, everybody, especially at the beginning, is more like, oh, don't be overwhelmed and take it easy. You are here to learn. And so this experience here is something between the work and being at the academy again. So I took it a bit as a sandbox when I'm not able to mess up things a lot. So I would say I was more, as I said before, confident. I was more open to share my ideas.
Nice.
And to, well, let's just do this and we will see how it's going to look like and how people will react. I feel that the feedback from my colleagues were positive, and that the work was appreciated. I would like to continue in this mindset and next career as well.
That's so encouraging, Really nice, and especially when your work and your ideas are appreciated. So it's really encouraging. Well, I'm glad you have a very good experience here. If you could have one piece of advice for the next group of trainees, what would it be?
I'm gonna say something that my head of service told me, or us. I mean, Ioana was there as well. the first time, oh, actually, I think it was with Kira, so you maybe were not there. Um, the first time we had a meeting with him, he said, "You're gonna get out of this experience what you put into it." So, and that is something I think is the most important part, especially for people that start new jobs or for people that, especially here, but I think this can be applied anywhere. You can never get more than you put in, and so be curious. Um, Try to make as much of an impact as possible, and never stop learning.
Nas, please.
Yes. In my case, I would say when you start working here, of course, you also start looking for like new opportunities after this experience. And in this journey, it's very important not to get anxious. I know it's very hard, but what I learned is I learned how to change the mindset of instead of being anxious to be excited about it because I had no idea what I'm gonna do in October. And I try to always think, okay, let's be excited what I'm gonna do in October. So I was, I tried to look at it from a different angle. So it is what I would say also for you, whoever watches it now. So yeah,
Okay.
try always to be excited instead of being anxious.
Be positive.
Yeah, be
Look
positive.
look on the bright
Thinking.
side.
Yeah.
Iana?
Okay, so for me, also, I agree with Tom's reply. I have to say that you have to keep in mind while being here that you have to learn as much as possible and that your learning journey depends on you only. The same applies for the working force. You have to ask your colleagues or your head of service for tasks. So please be curious, learn as much as possible, but also try to grow personally, make friendships that will last forever, and create experience that will always accompany you until the end of your journey in life.
It's a small task. Make friendships that last forever.
Mine will last forever, okay?
So if you didn't feel
Yeah.
pressure, I would say be excited
pressure.
about.
Yeah.
You know, when you click, you click. When you come
Exactly.
here, you know, because there was the what, like 120 of us, I would say we kind of all know each other. But of course, you can't be friends with everybody. It's
course.
impossible, right? Because it takes a lot of energy, effort to get to know somebody
Exactly.
as a person. We are very diplomatic in here. We all know each other. We are diplomatic. But I would say friends for life, you would have one or two. If you're lucky, maybe like Tom, he has like tons of friends. Well, I don't know that.
Everyone is my best friend.
Exactly, right? But it's up to you. It's your own journey, so it's up to you how to decide it. You know, I have a bit of a confession here. I don't really hang out with our trainee friends here as much as I wish I should have. But instead, I hang out with local people a lot, especially the elderly. So I just go to the beach at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and now I have a whole group of like mayores at the beach, like 60 years old, 80 years old, 90 years
You
old.
should invite them for a podcast.
Exactly.
Oh,
That would be amazing.
That's a good idea.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for the idea.
True.
So let's hear from Max.
Yeah, I think the most important was said. So as a proper hitchhiker, I'm just gonna say, don't panic.
I think like we all put together like the very important advice is to learn, to grow. And I think I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt and peppers in here. Once you are here, try to think a way of how to contribute because you're here to learn, but not only to learn, not only to take, but also try to find a way to add values to your team, to the office, to your departments, to people around you, your friends, your colleagues. Everything has to be balanced, right?
Mhm.
So I think that's
Just one very small thing, because you said everything had to be balanced. I feel like we talk a lot about professional stuff. I think people should also remember to enjoy, because it's a huge part. I think especially the last 6 months, I see from all of my friends that they're completely stressing, and because it is like you said, it's you don't know what you're gonna do after. It's still Alicante, it's still a beach town, so I think also for nurturing your mental state, it's important to sometimes not think of anything, sit at the beach, enjoy the sunset, enjoy the sunrise, and just don't think of work, just enjoy. So again, to just add on to this aspect of adding balance, I think that's also an important factor.
So work-life balance.
Exactly.
Not in my book. Not in my book, though. No, in my book is work balance. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Listen to Tom, okay? Work-life balance.
You have to even learn more Spanish ways of adding more life into your work.
Learning languages is my way of enjoyment. I think like we all share this value, right?
Yeah.
You will find your way. You will find your own way, your own environments, what you want. So it's only our experience. It's only our input, and you have to make it your own. Thank you all so much for sharing so openly. And this conversation really shows how a traineeship isn't just about building skills. It's also about the growth, our connection, and finding who we are.
Αυτή η πρακτική έπαιξε καθοριστικό ρόλο για εμένα, καθώς με βοήθησε να καταλάβω τι θέλω να κάνω επαγγελματικά στη ζωή, αλλά και να γνωρίσω άτομα τα οποία μου άλλαξαν τη ζωή μου και τη ρουτίνα μου προς το καλύτερο. Σε ευχαριστώ, EUIPO.
Okay, right. Okay.
Fast.
Wir haben Resilienz, Anpassungsfähigkeit an Teamwork gelernt.
Poznali jsme nové kultury a nové stránky nás samých a vytvořili jsme přátelství, která vydrží po celý život.
Và chúng tôi đã sẵn sàng mang những bài học này vào những chặng đường tiếp theo.
әр мекенде болсақ та осы әсер ешқайда өшпейді.
From all of us, muchas gracias, EUIPO. Before you go, if you find this video helpful, please leave us a comment down below. And if you happen to be at a life decision crossroad, check out this video next. I'll see you there. Hasta luego.